The Strymon BigSky has been the heavy hitter in the reverb market for years, but there is a new kid on the block. It is the Hotone Verbera. How do these two reverbs compare, and which one is right for you? Let's find out.
All right, Micah, so both of us were rocking the original BigSky for quite some time. That was kind of like the big reverb on our board. And it has been for a lot of players, especially in like the worship world, right?
Totally.
Kind of a catch-all of reverb pedals. But lately, there's been some more that's come out. BigSky MX came out recently.
Yep.
You kind of jumped on that. How was that?
Oh, yeah. So that was last April 2024, and it came out, and I could not buy it fast enough after reading about some of the features on there, which we're going to get into. And it's just like a BigSky with upgrades. How could I say no?
So I was recently trying to downsize my board and trying to figure out like what could stay, what could fit. And then the Hotone Verbera came out and made me go, maybe this could replace the BigSky. So the big question is, which one do I get? If I'm needing a catch-all reverb, one that can do a little bit of everything, spring, plates, ambient sounds, what's going to be best for me within my price range? What are the which features are worth it? That's what the kind of questions we're going to answer today.
A good place to start with each of these things is how much do they cost? The BigSky MX, as of this recording, $679.
That's pretty steep.
That's steep. That is steep, but man, it's been so nice. Yeah. Some of the features that we're going to talk about here in a moment.
It's got a lot of features.
You get your money's worth.
Yeah, there's a lot in there.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you have the Hotone Verbera Convolution Reverb for $299.
I think for as much as it can do and for the enclosure that it's in, it makes it a much more kind of pedal board friendly.
Yeah.
If you're not trying to do a huge
board.
A huge board, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, right off the bat, before getting into user interface and features and sounds and everything, the Verbera has some advantages over the Strymon in that sense. So let's talk about user interface, though, because I think that's really important, too. Like, how easy are these pedals to use? You know, how easy is it to dial in a sound, to save a sound, to adjust settings, all those types of things. We'll start with the BigSky MX. Similar layout to the old BigSky. A few changes. There's still 3-foot switches on the front. One of them, however, used to be a preset switch. Now it's an infinite switch. So the nice thing about it is you can do momentary or latching, infinite or freeze modes, whereas before you could only do momentary because the infinite or the freeze button was built into each preset button. You step on it, hold it, and you get the freeze or the infinite. The biggest drawback of that, though, is you lose a preset.
Yeah, I am kind of bummed that you get that feature at the sacrifice.
At the expense of. They did rework the LED screen. The LED screen is much nicer now. Or maybe it's an LCD screen. I don't know. I don't know. Somebody tell us. The knobs are moved around. The menus are different, so you know how you access these things. It's a little different. You have this button over here where you can go through all your different settings on there. You can long press it to go back. Let's talk about dual reverbs on this thing too. So you can do dual reverbs on here, which is new from the old BigSky.
I feel like that was one of the biggest additions besides the infinite hold switch with the dual reverb thing.
That's the primary reason I got it. Was you can run 2 reverbs now? Sign me up. That's amazing.
I feel like this is definitely that next step up into the future for people who love tweaking sounds. I mean, you could already get so many sounds out of the original BigSky, and there's already such a deep well of like, what does this sound like? What does that sound like? And now you can do that, but like, what does this sound like with this?
Yes.
What does this sound like with that?
So many combinations. Yeah.
For the person who loves it, that's great. For the person who's like, that could almost feel overwhelming. For a person who's like, let me just set some knobs and forget it.
Yeah, right. Just give me a flint.
There you go. Give me something simple.
Give me something simple, Tell me about the Verbera. How does that one work?
Yeah, I actually really like the user interface. I have to say, like, just from actually having spent some time with it now and using it on my board for a while, it actually feels very intuitive, especially considering how much, like, it can do. So when you first get the pedal and you plug it in, it's actually going to be in this mode here where you see the two kind of lights around the foot switches light up. And when it's in this mode, when you have both of them orange, you're actually in kind of preset mode, right?
Okay, so you're
that
basically
means I'm
banking up and down.
Yeah, I'm banking up and down. So I kind of have it set up right now. The way I use it is I kind of have like an ambient tone and then like some kind of light reverb, medium reverb, plate reverb, and then I'm back to another ambient tone. So now if you click both of them together, now it makes this your on-off switch. So if I'm like, hey, I'm going to be running some kind of verb, which I mean, most of the time you're running something, even if it's light. So that's why I like the option of being able to just go back and forth. But if I want just something I can turn off and on, I can do that. But then that makes this now your freeze button.
So it has a freeze option as well.
And you'll notice it because it turns blue, which is really cool because it's very obvious from when you're standing above it which mode you're in.
I haven't really played much on it, but I did look at some of the features when it came out. So basically, it's a dual reverb too.
It's technically a dual reverb,
Very cool. So it has the IR, reverb, I guess that's first in the series. And then the second is what they call XR, or like extra reverb, or their algorithm, reverb is going to be number 2. Now, it is running series, so it's IR into XR, and then your dry signal is going to be running parallel to that, which is cool. But so you have your IR side and your algorithm side, and you can control each of those.
So BigSky, you can run series or parallel.
Correct. Yeah,
and
I think
is just the one.
Yeah, so that's advantage BigSky on that.
BigSky,
because you can run your reverbs in series, just like the Verbera, or you can run them parallel, or you can run them split left and right. You can only run the Verbera in series, and you can only run IR into algorithm. With BigSky, you can run algorithm into algorithm, or IR into IR, or vice versa, or whatever.
Tweakability.
Yeah, a little more flexibility in dialing in some different sounds there.
But for the compact size, the fact that this and the price, this being a technically dual reverb, is really cool. It has a really wide spread in stereo. It sounds great. Now, walking through, so this was the preset knob. You have kind of your typical stuff, your mix, pre-delay, all that.
So when it's orange, you're controlling the IR parameters, correct? Gotcha. And when it's blue, you're controlling the algorithm.
Exactly.
Is that correct? Okay.
And can we just talk about how cool it looks when you're kind of mixing the both of them, orange and blue, and sometimes I just press the button just because I like the way it looks with the blue.
It looks so great. I know. I love the look of that pedal. It's like the orange is cool, and then the orange contrasted with the blue.
Yeah, and you can like switch it up. It's just kind of a cool.
It's doing something to my brain, for sure.
It's kind of neat.
And I like it.
But then over here, let's say if I'm building a preset, you can go here, and this is right now so this is the name of the preset. This is the name of the IR.
Got it.
So the name of the IR, the sound I'm using is space, whatever that is, space Vab, and then I can change it here, and I can cycle through all of my other IRs or my other kind of types of sound.
Yeah, so you can mix and match your algorithm and different IRs, which is cool. Yeah.
And then kind of just, again, talking interface, one nice thing is you can, since there's so many of them, you can actually sort them by either reverb type, either alphabetically if you're looking for something specific, or by like the diffusion or something.
Yeah, I think it's like the length. Yeah, I think it's, I read, you can do it from like shorter to longer reverb, which is really cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of neat. But it makes it really, really easy to get to. There's a clone feature on this, which you can kind of clone other IRs. I do have to say about the clone feature really quick, because I bought this pedal kind of thinking, what if I just plug this into my BigSky, clone all my favorite sounds, and then drop them into here, and now essentially I have a BigSky in a smaller package. Didn't quite work out that way.
Cloning those IRs, it's any kind of modulation, or pitch shifting or anything. You're not going to be able to capture that with an IR.
Yeah, so I was able to get some spacey sounds, but it doesn't capture, like you said, the modulation, some of the like kind of diffusion stuff and with the little particles and stuff like that. So it isn't quite a one-for-one clone. Still a very cool feature and very easy to use. You just plug them in, you hit the button, it's almost instant, and then you're cooking from there.
Now, one word of caution with the Verbera. If you're a Verbera user and you're running other stereo effects, Ruben and I learned this the hard way. Here's what you got to do. If you're running stereo effects prior to the Verbera, you need to go into your menu, and you need to make sure that this input is set to stereo. It comes from the factory set to mono.
Which makes no sense to me.
Which makes no sense.
If there's an auto feature already, why not just make
there is
auto?
an auto feature. We went ahead and set it to stereo for the purposes of this demo. But word of caution out there, if you're using the Verbera and using wet effects before it in stereo, check your menu and make sure it's set to stereo.
Yeah, because I got a stereo delay pedal, and I'm like, this quite doesn't have the same juice as
this thing sucks.
Yeah, and then I was like... Oh, I've been running in mono the whole time.
Yeah.
And so was my chorus and I spent all this money.
Yeah, and your Tonex too, right?
So
everything.
Spent all this money on these stereo effects only for this to be
killing
into
mono. Yeah. So
yeah.
Word of caution with that.
Very important.
Yes.
Very important.
Yes, indeed.
So let's talk MIDI real quick. Both can run MIDI. A little bit different. Plugs and inputs.
Yep.
So if you see the Verbera here has an 1/8 inch, right? So you
TRS.
TRS.
Very important.
Yep.
The BigSky MX, you can do the 5-pin MIDI, or you can do USB-C as well. So a couple of different options with MIDI there. So that's cool. So one thing I do want to talk about with each of these is power requirements, because it is different. It is different. The BigSky MX is 9 volts, 500 milliamps. Verbera, though, the Hotone, it is 9 volts, but it's 1,000 milliamps. It's a smaller pedal, but it does require more milliamps. So, if you're using the Strymon Zuma or something that only does 500 milliamps, you may need to combine a couple of power inputs. So there are cables you can use to address that. So this is one I use when I'm running an HX Stomp. You can use 2 inputs. So basically I can get double, like two of the power slots on my power supply into one. And technically, I'm using this for the HX Stomp, which still is not even close to the amount of power that they recommend for that pedal. They recommend 3 amps.
That's wild.
3,000 milliamps. But I run it with 1,000. It's for what I'm using it for. It's doing okay. I'm not using like a lot of DSP with some of the things I'm running on that. Moral of the story is read the manual, especially with these digital effects. That do require a little bit more power. Probably a good idea to see what it's actually going to need, so you can plan your power needs accordingly. Hotone does recommend using the AC adapter that comes with it, because that's going to give it sufficient power. But you can use other power supplies as well.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get some sounds out of it. What are we running here?
Okay, so I got my Jazzmaster. I love my Jazzmaster.
Oh, reliable.
Yep, but I'm running into this really rad, actually, Mosky Golden Horse. It's a clone, and we just did a clone shootout not long ago, and this one actually was one of the best sounding ones. And there were some really killer clones in there, and this one was I think it was second. It was a close second to the winner, which I'll have to tune in and find out which one that one was. But shockingly, this $30 clone sounded killer. So anyway, running through that, and then of course we got the BigSky, we got the Verbera. Both of those are running in stereo, and then that's running into the Enigmatic, the UFX Enigmatic, which is my favorite digital amp.
It's pretty great.
So very cool. Yeah,
I'm still a little bit bitter towards the Mosky, because I spent some money on some clones. Yeah, and I'm a little upset at how much I like that.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah. But anyway, so we're running that. So let's start with let's just jump in and get some really nice ambient lush textures. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that. So let's go ahead and start with the Verbera.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with the Verbera preset. So this is kind of like their main sound. I would have to make it akin to like the Cloud.
Yeah, it's like their flagship tone.
Yeah, it's their flagship kind of sound. Gotcha. It's number one. I use this one a lot for like swells and stuff.
Gotcha. So well, let's do it. Let's see
check
what we
it out.
got here. Okay. I like that little modulation on it. It's not too shabby. And this, we got our Space Vab IR on it.
And again, I can mess with it. I can warm it up a little bit. If I don't like it being too bright, I can switch to the Alt menu and add more modulation if you want.
Yeah, I like that. That's nice.
Alright, we're going to take it back to where it was.
Okay.
Yep. Can we test the freeze real quick so you can hear
Yeah.
kind of ones?
Yeah, let's try it out. Okay.
Hit a chord for it. Nice freezing there, but you still have reverb to play on top.
Very nice. I like it, man. That sounds very nice.
Let's check out the BigSky.
Okay. Let's do it. All right. Well, let's do. Tell you what, we're gonna start. This is a little. It's got an impulse that has a real. It's like reverse impulse, which is really cool. So, with the IRs on the BigSky, here it comes. Very nice. With the IRs on the BigSky, it's kind of cool. You can change direction. So you can flip that sucker upside down, or in reverse. So, this does have a cloud verb on it too. So you get a little bit of that cloud verb at the front, and then you got that. You got that, So it's got it's moving. It's not just kind of like, it's not like a freeze thing where it just kind of stays there, It feels like it's got a little more life to it. And the cool thing about this is too, the way I have this set up, this is a dual reverb, so this is in parallel. You got that IR thing going on one side, and then you got the cloud going on the other. But if I want to just take my cloud mix all the way up, then I can turn it to a nice pad sound. So you got.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so you lose that attack.
Can I hear that pad sound on the turn?
Yeah.
Was it with
Yeah, there you go.
I love it with the tone knob rolled off. That's a very cool sound. Now I'm gonna roll the tone knob back in.
Yeah. So really,
a little more forward.
Oh man, I love that. I think what would be really nice is you can run an expression pedal for this. If I was running that, I think I would have an expression pedal set up for my mix. That way with hands free, I could take it from like a lower mix to that full mix.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's actually a really great
So
idea.
that would be, and you can do something similar, with a Verbera too.
That's actually really, I didn't even think about that because you can plug in an expression.
Yeah. I just don't have room on my board for it, man. Gotta cut some things out, and that's hard.
But that is application wise. That would be a really cool application, even in the studio if you're like recording and stuff. So sweet.
So anyway, that's kind of like my go-to, like really wet. It's obviously with the mix of the cloud down a little bit. I do have some attack, and it's a little bit different flavor as opposed to like the full mix situation. Yeah.
Could I hear a little bit of like, you said you could flip it. What would that IR sound like if we put it going back the other way?
So, let's go over to our impulse here, go into parameter menu, and you go down here to direction. There you go. And we can change it to forward. Yeah, what does that sound like now? Sounds cool too. A little more controllable, with the other one you got that really long tail.
It kind of appears out of...
just don't hit the wrong note, whatever you do.
Oh man, that'd be rough.
Yeah.
Cool. Now,
so it's got some functionality that way too.
Now, one thing you were talking about the pad sound. I do have a pad sound kind of loaded into this.
Okay.
So what I do is I have the Verbera. If I click once, this is my pad sound.
Okay.
So I kind of have them nearby. So this would be my swell sound.
Makes sense.
And then, so let's hear a little bit of it.
Okay. So.
Oh. So this would be
nice.
like tickling it.
Yeah, I like that. Woo.
Now if I roll the tone knob in a little bit, a little more present in the mix. If I want to kind of fade into the background a little bit, I'll kind of turn off the...
And now you can roll up the mix on the pedal while you're doing this too, right?
Yep. So I can roll the mix here. Well, it's kind of all the way up here, but I can add more here. I feel like this one can peak though a little bit if you're not too careful.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But I can freeze it.
Yeah. Cool, very cool. I got a little attack there.
I brought the mix down.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, very cool.
So similar flavors.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So, cool.
Yeah, very cool, man. Yeah, that sounds great. Sounds great.
Well, let's dial it back a little bit. What do you want to look at, like a plate reverb?
Yeah, let's do maybe like a plate kind of thing here. I think this is my kind of go-to plate sound. So mixes, what is that at? Yeah, it's pretty high up there, but I usually do run my mixes a little higher. I think part of that is because we're typically running 2 guitars on a Sunday morning. So I'm really trying to be a little bit further back in the mix. I'm just doing textures, and I don't really, I'm not looking to be out front too much. So I typically do run my mixes a little higher because of that. It may be different if I was the only guitarist, but that's not typically what I do. So
Like
just
that.
got.
Love that for a good lead tone, or if I'm trying to play something, I want some sustained but manageable.
Yeah.
Love a good play.
Yeah, it's just got a nice, and it does well with like drive. So if I was to add some more gain on here,
Oh, that's nice,
yeah, it's
That's
like
nice.
it's not so washed out that you lose the note articulation. I mean, even in you're playing thirds, they come through. So that's nice. Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Anyway, what do you got on the Verbera there?
Dial it
Yeah,
back.
dial it back.
Let's
There
go
you go.
back
All
to
right,
clean,
all right,
and
all
let's
right.
do this is kind of like the plate that I
Okay,
use.
got it. All right. Yeah, you got a little more mix in there.
I tend to use this more for my like lead tone.
Gotcha.
This would be with a little bit of delay and some drive. I can bring that mix down. Let's try it with a little bit of drive.
Yeah, give it some drive there.
Give it some juice.
That's nice too. It's a little wetter, so I feel like I am losing a little bit of note articulation for what I typically like. But I mean, you can dial that out.
Well, this is actually kind of, the decay is pretty wide open.
Gotcha,
so
okay.
what if we- All right, so feeling good so far. Let's try reverb that is on many a board. The spring reverb.
The spring
So
reverb,
let's
yes.
Find me a spring and let's kick it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's see. I think, this is kind of a...
Let's hear with it off. Yeah, so it's
about spring reverb is it's just got kind of a dirty sound to it, you know?
It's kind of like my always, if I had a reverb that was like my always on,
It would be a spring.
It would be a spring. I'm almost never without, like, just completely dry. Usually if I don't have any verb on, it's
light spring.
It's a
yeah,
light
which
spring,
makes sense. I mean, that's my old tube amps. They all have spring reverb in them. But yeah, but this is the spring reverb on the BigSky. And I don't want to oversimplify it because there's a ton of different flavors of spring reverb, but this is one of my favorite ones. So yeah, anyway, that's kind of the basic spring sound. Now there are some different flavors of spring you can do in here. So you got this dwell, so you got a clean, you got combo, you got tube, you got overdrive. So not to get too far in the weeds on this. You can hear it's just
That's cool.
Just a little bit dirtier there with that overdriven one. But anyway, there's a few different flavors of that. You can change the number of springs. So you can go from one spring to and go to 3. You can just hear there's just a little more action going on there, a little more spring action. So anyway, yeah, you got a few different options as far as tweakability there, which is really cool.
Nice.
All right, so what kind of spring sounds are some of your go-to on the Verbera?
Here's one that I kind of use pretty often. So let's try this old spring.
All right.
So this is another very different flavor, but
yeah.
There's another.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah, I like that one.
I like that a lot. What IR is that? The spring IR, is that what it is? Okay, yeah.
R1,
Stacking springs,
yeah.
man. I like it. Okay.
Sweet.
Love it, man. Well, my thought is this: I've played the BigSky a lot more than the Verbera, but I mean, the Verbera, the algorithms sound great.
Yeah.
From a sound standpoint, I think these things are pretty darn close. I think for me, what it comes down to is budget.
Features.
Kind of what we said from the get-go.
Yeah.
I mean, it comes down to what is your budget, how much space do you have on your board, and how many of these features are you going to be using? Do you need the flexibility of running reverbs in parallel, in series, having a little more flexibility with what you do with your signal? If you do, the BigSky MX, I think, is the way to go. If you're more budget conscious, if you don't need a whole lot of tweakability, then the Verbera may be a really great option for you. I think they're both really great pedals. They sound great. But, I think at the end of the day, you just got to figure out what serves kind of your needs the best.
Yeah. I don't like diving too deep. I like kind of finding my ambient sound, dialing it to taste, and then being done, with it.
Yeah.
I like having kind of like spring and plates and all that stuff, hall reverbs all in one place. But I just know even with the original BigSky, I just didn't use all of the features.
Yeah.
And that kind of was my hesitation with upgrading to the MX, because I knew it was updated, it's upgraded. I'm like, man, I'm only using a couple of banks even on the last BigSky. I kind of just need it to do what I need it to do, and then but in a smaller enclosure was
right.
kind of the reason
and
why
yeah,
I made the
and
jump.
totally, you went to a smaller board, and I think Verbera in that situation makes a lot of sense.
But being able, sometimes you be hitting some of these sounds, and I'm like, dang, that's actually really cool.
I like that too.
I like
yeah.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Both great reverbs. Make sure to check them out.
So thanks for watching another episode of Tone Nerds. We hope this was helpful.
That's right. And let us know in the comments, which one did you like more? Were you leaning toward the BigSky? Were you leaning toward the Verbera? Which one do you own? What are your favorite sounds in them? We want to hear all that from you guys.
So be sure to check these pedals out, and we'll see you next time.